I'm gonna have to tell my sponsor I'm not coming to home group. You have to cover that. Uh,
You're
uh.
doing too much, friend.
I Well, I sent a link to my new sponsee. I already got him up to step 12, so I'm hoping he pops in the meeting. Well, we're about to start step 12,
I really hope so, man.
and I've only had him for a month.
Hmm.
Hmm, Fast and furious.
You know, sometimes that's just the way it goes.
Well, you know what, Chris, I'd love to do less, but that means I need to make like $10 more an hour than what I'm making.
I understand, man. Like, even my retirement money isn't going nearly as far as it used to. The inflation's fucking killing me.
Yeah, me too.
And, like, I'm spending almost triple weekly on what I used to get to survive a month.
Exactly, man. It's just I mean, let's see, I had a refrigerator give out, a dishwasher give out, car breakdown, all that shit kind of just like really fucked me because that was thousands of dollars I wasn't expecting to come out of pocket. Now it's like
100%.
every time I get a comma back in my bank account, then I have to turn around and spend it, 'cause mortgage and shit.
Yeah. No, I feel it, man. Like, as soon as Logan got his surgery, our refrigerator broke, and then our washer or dryer broke, and we've had, like, nothing but issues. Like, we've been
Yeah,
busting ass. We lost our hot water heater, which we had to replace ourselves. Like, it's
that's
been.
usually how it happens. It's
Mm-hmm.
one thing and another thing, and then it stays good for a little while, and then it happens again.
Yeah, Yeet the Dead
And then
over
my income
here.
taxes.
Yeah, Yeet the
Then
Dead
I'm waiting
actually
on my
helped
income
me
tax.
replace the hot water heater.
So
Yeah.
I'm waiting on my income taxes to come in still too because there was an issue. Because when they tried to direct deposit, I guess because we were just married in October
Mm,
and it had both of our names on it, and then it went back to them, got rejected by the bank or whatever, and the IRS was like, "Give us 8 to 10 weeks," and I'm like, "Oh, great,
right. I
3 more months."
it
I
happens.
was really just hoping it hits before gathering time, but I don't know.
Right. That's when it's gonna be necessary.
Well, I mean, I'll still make it regardless. It's just gonna be, being broke is a joke.
Yeah. No. I've done the fucking $3,000 gathering. I've done the $0 gathering. They're both equally as fun, but slightly less foods.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Friday I
interesting.
so what from work. Friday I so what from work. I took a shower and ate. Next thing you know, I was asleep. Next thing you know, I woke up. I'm like, oh, my
Yeah.
meeting's done fast.
But no, like
It was rainy and shit too.
I had talked to everybody that's like a regular on meetings that day, asking if they were going to that meeting that night. Because I was like, yeah, I'm feeling energetic. I'm gonna stay up a little late. Nope,
Oh
nope.
man, I passed the fuck out.
I mean, it happens to all of us. I get it. Oh.
Like I said, I need to like start my look. Oh, did I tell you? See, I need to talk to you because I was looking at so Florida's they got a new law, I guess, ever since COVID happened and all these small business loans got gave out, and then all these businesses went down. So basically, the money was lost now, right? So now, if you have an LLC, you have to pay a $5,000 um, fee every year.
Then incorporate outside the state.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to look into doing that because I was gonna do it here because there used to be no operating fee. Now it's a $5,000 operating fee. Yeah, you get that back at tax time, but you got to pay that up, every year.
Yeah,
You get it as a
that's
tax write-off. But like, if you're not making money in the beginning,
yeah.
like your profits right into a fee.
Right. Like, I would understand if it was like a couple $100 for an operating fee for an LLC, but $5,000 off rip just to incorporate is ass. I've never heard of that.
I don't know.
Yeah, the
I'd never heard of it either until somebody was telling me because they have an LLC and they're like, yeah, man, they just put some new law in and I had to pay 5 racks towards this shit. And I'm like,
yeah.
for an
So
operator fee. And I'm like, that's fucking retarded. So how do you even start a small business and get it off the ground if you got to pay 5 grand off the ripper?
yeah, it sounds like DeSantis is sucking mad cocks over there, making
I
all
don't
kinds
know
of
if it's a
crazy ass laws.
I don't know if it was a DeSantis thing or if it was a Florida thing or if it was a Fed thing. I don't know. I haven't looked into it deep enough yet. Or if it was the county I live in thing.
Yeah, I would assume that would probably be a Florida wide thing because LLCs, you don't necessarily have to register your base address. Because I know plenty of LLCs that are registered to a PO box.
Well, hmm, Florida, you have to register your LLC and it is with the county. And then you have to have a worker's permit for every county that you work in.
Oh, dude,
So it might be a county thing.
that's wild
So
to me.
say if I have a tile thing, like anybody who has an LLC down here, they always get a tri-county permit for the area I'm in, which would be Martin County, St. Lucie County, West Palm Beach County, because then you can literally work in like 10 different cities,
Yeah,
and the permits are like fucking 50 to $100 a pop.
yeah, that's wild though. Like that's mad expensive for anybody to do a business. Uh, here's
Well, that's what
another.
I'm saying. It used to be a few $100 to start your LLC, and then a couple $100 to do your permits for a tri-county, and then you were good to go.
Yeah, so what I would look into is see if you could do a sole proprietorship instead of a traditional LLC. That way, you're the only listed owner, and it may circumvent some of the LLC fees.
Yeah, I was gonna either have to look into that or looking at seeing if I could start something out of state, I guess.
Well, it would depend on what you're trying to do. So, like, I know you do like lots of construction stuff. So you would still have to get contractor licensing, and then for that you still have to carry local bond, and that gets a little complicated when you're being paid or operating off of a foreign entity.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
I guess I'm gonna have to dive. Yeah, it makes sense. I just guess I'm gonna have to dive in, do it some more, and do some research. Because just when I heard that, I was just like, "Fuck, man!" Like, finally trying to get my life together and do something. Here you go. Like, can't even do what I want to do.
No, I feel it. Uh, it's gonna be interesting for sure. Florida just does not seem like
Got
the
an
place to
alien
be
vaping.
anymore.
I mean,
Yep, I've turned into an alien.
I still like it. I like the beaches. I like not being cold.
Yeah.
I like the area I live in where there's not too much crime yet. Somebody did get killed the other day, not too far from my wife's store, but those were people from South Florida that moved up. Miami, Lauderdale, Hollywood shit. Big
Right.
city people are moving up to small area. So
Yeah, well, it's gonna be real
a lot of
interesting to
biker gangs popping up.
that part. I'm not surprised at.
Well, where I'm at, you never really see anybody except for vets and outlaws. Now you're starting to see a lot of different like club patches and people moving from all over. And
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot more club patches just all over the state here, which is unusual because normally when it hits like riding season, it shouldn't. It normally is like
it's
one or
usually
two.
predominantly one thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
and then
one or two, but now we're seeing
predominantly
like
like
20, 30 different fucking vests.
yeah, probably one or two, and then you would see occasionally like sober or Christian or vets or something, but
Yeah.
not like a bunch of outlaw and support club.
Yeah, like we're also seeing like the rise of pagans real heavy out here.
That's what's pushing territory down here, and that's what's going on is pagans and outlaws going at each other,
Yeah.
and then their support club. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna
shit
get
is
started here
crazy.
in just a few minutes. Ugh.
Mhm.
You
So,
excited to hear
so
me
how's
talk
talks
about
going?
ass fucking?
Josie? Yeah, Josie's super excited. She loves that shit.
Yeah. But Tox
Oh,
is
yeah. Always excited.
Tox is doing okay. He's got a small infection in the incision site that we had to go get looked at, so we're
Yeah,
doing.
when you're saying something like that and they pushed out the date.
Yeah. Well, they had pushed out the date prior to that just because his recovery's going so slow. Because they
Oh,
initially
okay.
had placed it at 6 to 8 weeks, they pushed it out another 6 to 8 weeks because he's recovering roughly at a quarter speed of what was expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. It's just his muscles are real weak. His immune system's ass. He doesn't know really what to expect with surgery stuff, so everything's brand new and he's not handling it perfectly. So it is what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
stupid mosquitoes.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be no mosquitoes in outer space over there, Mr. Alien Guy.
There's lots of mosquitoes in outer space, apparently.
Yeah, well, that sucks ass. So, are you
Well, the more and
excited
more
about
I
the
listen to
topic?
certain,
Huh?
Are you excited for tonight's topic?
Sure, your crazy topic.
the more and more I listen to space stuff, the more and more I see that everything we know might not be actually right in what we know.
Well, we shall
Did you
see.
like hear about this? The newer telescope they launched a couple of years ago that's like 900,000 miles out, and
Mm-hmm.
all these galaxies we didn't think existed, and one of them being like really close to us that is only a few hundred years apart from us or something, and then like dark matter
Yeah, I've been
might be the real driving force, not
gravity
everything we
waves.
thought.
Yeah, I've been reading a couple of articles about it. It's pretty fascinating. It's so theoretical because we still don't have proper containment for dark matter to run any type of real experiments on it. Like we have.
No, but everything else was theoretical beforehand. So
No, I mean you're not wrong. It's just we still have a ways to go for studying that shit before we can really say what's what on it. Yeah. But with that, it is that time for everybody to shut the fuck up and let me talk about
let's
ass fucking.
let's have a meeting about
All right. So tonight we're doing backdoor riders, and the concept behind it is enjoying the hard things in life. Life is a lot like anal, a series of challenges, a constant ebb and flow, ups and downs. While it may seem counterintuitive, there is this kind of a hidden joy in engaging in activities that are fun, even when they are difficult. These endeavors test our limits, push us beyond our comfort zones, and ultimately lead to more growth and like a more fulfilling experience. So, in this lesson, we're going to explore this concept of pursuing enjoyable activities even in the face of difficult situations, or how we're going to do things that are really, really hard and suck. So, doing this can enrich our lives and bring us a deep sense of satisfaction. Amazing. Love all of the innuendos here. Uh, at first glance, the notion of finding fun in challenging situations may appear really contradictory. After all, why would we be willingly subject ourselves to hardships, even if we could opt for an easier, more comfortable position? The answer lies in the fact that most rewarding and memorable experiences often come from overcoming obstacles and persevering through adversity. When we engage in activities that are both fun and challenging, we tap into our inner reservoirs of resilience, determination, and fuel our passion, which in turn lead to more growth and a profound sense of accomplishment. Consider anal as an example. Bottoms willingly subject themselves to rigorous training, grueling physical exertion, and intense sessions. The challenges they face on the bed with a partner or by themselves are by no means easy, but it is precisely in these moments of adversity that they find the most joy. The thrill of taking the whole thing, the satisfaction of surpassing personal bests, and the bond forged through failures all contribute to the joy of that experience. Despite the difficulties, bottoms continue to engage in their chosen adventures because they understand that the pursuit of excellence and the joy of the process far outweigh the temporary discomfort they may experience. In other aspects of life, the same principles still apply. Students willingly embark on arduous academic journeys. Artists pour their hearts and souls into their craft, and entrepreneurs endure countless setbacks on their path to success. Each of these endeavors require dedication, persistence, and lube. It is the passion and enjoyment derived from those activities that keep us motivated, even when the going gets tough. That's when more lube's required. The key to finding fun in the face of these difficult situations lies in our mindset and perspective. Instead of viewing challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we can choose to see them as opportunities for growth and self discovery. By reframing our perception, we open ourselves up to new experiences and learning curves. The thrill of conquering the seemingly impossible. It is in these moments we tap into our resilience, our creativity. We uncover the aspects of ourselves that we may not have known existed. So, engaging in those activities that are fun, even when they're hard, fosters this sense of personal fulfillment and satisfaction. When we challenge ourselves and push beyond our perceived limits, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of greatness. We develop a sense of self confidence, knowing that we have the resilience, the determination to overcome all of those obstacles, no matter how big or small. It's all about how much you're willing to go through to get to your end goal. Each small victory becomes that stepping stone towards our ultimate goals, propelling us further along our path to success. Embracing the joy and the challenges of pursuing all of these different types of activities, even when they are hard, it is a powerful catalyst for our personal growth, fulfillment, and self discovery. By willingly engaging in endeavors that push our boundaries and test our limits, we tap into everything that we need to move forward. It's not just about the temporary enjoyment, it's not about just doing it for the challenge. It's about doing it because you feel like that is the right thing to do. Even though it's hard, even though it sucks, even though it's really, really boring or really, really painful. These are the things that we do in our own lives that push our own selves. So let's embrace the challenges that come our way. Find the fun in the face of these difficulties and allow ourselves to grow and thrive and experience the true richness of life by talking
So,
about ass fucking. So does anybody here do anything that's really fucking difficult, but they do it anyway because they know it's the thing that they need to do?
not difficult, but I got to take care of these animals, feed them in the morning and put them away at night. Chickens and goats.
Ah, See,
It's
that's
not super difficult, but it's something that I just have to do. And sometimes it blows, like particularly when the snow's up to your waist. It's a real fucking bitch trudging out there.
right. It's. I'm not necessarily saying that the things are difficult in physical or mental aspects. These are things that are either A, stressful or really fucking boring that you don't want to do, but you know you need to do them, so you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, got a list of.
Yeah.
I mean, being a dad, having a family, any adult responsibilities, taking care of your loved ones, looking out for your homies, working at jobs where you know you're serving a purpose, but at the same time, it's stressful and draining. I mean, the list can be infinite. Just keep adding to it. Like, when you put it in that aspect, like, life is difficult, right? And I don't like to use the I have to, statement. I get to do these things because definitely when I was drinking and drugging, I wouldn't be doing any of the things I'm doing right now. You get what I'm saying? These are things I get to do because I've been blessed with a, change of personality, change of heart, whatever, and I'm able and capable to do the things I do. Um, and sometimes it does feel like a chore. Sometimes it feels like have to, but usually when I get in that have to mindset is when I get resentful at all these things I do. Like I get to do these things and I know it serves a greater purpose for me in the long run. So even though sometimes it sucks and it's stressful and it's draining and I know in the grand scheme of things that I'm making a difference, you know.
Yeah, no, see, I dig that. We're doing the things that we have to do. I see Monster at his hands up. Let's see what he's got to say.
I think we talked about it a while back, but D is like probably 100%. D no, he isn't probably is 100% right. Like, dude, being a dad doing responsible shit is mad boring, and you often feel like you have to do it. Like, there's some
That's the
it's
greatest.
responsibility. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to those around you. But at the same time, do you really enjoy it? Is it really fun? Like, I think I talked to you a while back. Like, dude, doing ignorant shit is fun because it takes no thought, just instinct. You just do it. You don't really have to think about it. But the problem with ignorant shit is a lot of the times it's self-destructive. Um, you often got to kind of put constraints on it. Like, I know I got, I was like itching for a thrill, so I found a BB gun range. Did like 6v6 with some pro players, and that hurt like hell, but it was fun. That's like a like that's pretty adrenaline fueled, learning how to do tactics, fall in with them and whatnot. And then you got to pay per ammo cartridge, so you got to make every shot count. But that's like straight ignorant. You can't get paid doing stuff like that. Well, at least not enough to like survive off of. But yeah, I really feel what you was saying. You try to look at it as like a privilege, like you get to do this stuff and have a great life, but it can really feel like a weight at times, like an anchor tied to your feet. Like it helps you, but oh man, even though it's good for you, it feels suffocating at times.
Yeah, I feel that. Like that's the thing about these difficult situations in our lives. These things that we need to do or we want to do because we want to be able to enjoy the situations that come after the fact. So much like anal, you can't just jam it in there and be done and it's amazing. It takes work. You have to put in the effort. You have to go through all of the hard shit to get to the good shit.
Oh, hence the name
What if I don't want to
Backdoor.
hit shit?
It finally clicked.
Yeah,
You don't have to, man. Whatever floats your boat. I found fun just shooting a gun for 8 minutes straight, full round auto at the BB gun range.
yeah, and that's
Just yeah,
amazing. It's great, but sometimes you have to do hard things, like just like with your end goal for yourself. You have to get through all this hard shit that's coming up to get to your end goal of not having to answer to anybody financially. You know?
100%. Yeah, a lot of the ideas I have to. I was daydreaming today about, oh man, Once that shit comes in, I want to spend a week doing nothing but scuba diving. That'd be dope to learn.
Yeah, scuba
Go see
diving's
exotic fishing, go start all that crazy stuff.
yeah. All right, what you got, D?
Unfortunately, since we are all slaves to this government system, all of us have financial burden because very rarely are we going to make it to the 1% where we can literally just piss money all day long and it doesn't affect anything. Like, I would love to have financial freedom, but the real reality of life, bills, and responsibilities, I know it could get softer, it could get easier, it could get cushier, but it's never like complete freedom, you know? So I think like the key to it all is just perspective on how you look at things. You know what I mean? Like I totally agree with Monster. Sometimes these responsibilities and what you're going through is it feels like the weight of the world's on you and it feels like it's crushing you. But when you overcome those hurdles, like everything starts to become so much beautiful and everything's so much closer in your hands, you know. But it's like you said, it's those hard spots that you got to go through to make everything in the long term like more enjoyable.
Yeah, Monster, you got your hand up still?
Oh man, dude, D, you're killing it. Yeah, I guess that's where I was like get trapped at sometimes. Like, damn, what I'm doing is good, but it's so complex that the joy gets sucked out of it. But self destruction is so simple and so easy. It might be terrible for you, but you can't help but enjoy the simplicity of it. It doesn't take any thought or anything. It's just exactly how it sounds, ignorance. And for sure, man, being responsible and making good choices at times can feel like the whole atlas, like weight of the world on your shoulders. Like, damn, you dared to dream a better person. Now you gotta literally have the world on your back and stand up with it, like Atlas from the Greek tragedy. It can be a tug of war at times. I struggle with it, making good choices. It's like, damn, I make good choices and I like making good choices, but fuck if this shit isn't complex and feel like more trouble than it's worth at times to just it'd be easier to just go downhill instead of uphill.
Yeah, I dig what you're saying there, Monster, but that's why we're talking about these things. Sometimes it's easier to give up, but is it going to get you to the goal that you want? And that's the whole reason why we're talking about getting through just this hard part. Because it's not
Mm.
always hard. It's not always super difficult. I know Josie had her hand up, and I'll get to you in a second, Josie. But you have to persevere through these hard situations, much like anal, where you can get to the part where everything's all lubed up, everything's easy going. There's always going to be
When
difficult
you put it
parts.
in those terms, it's so easy to think about and be like, yeah, this is worth it. But then with the long term ones that take years, it's really easy to lose sight. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Keep sight of the end goal. Know that you got to start slow before you're able to really put your time in and enjoy it.
exactly. And then that's
That
why,
metaphor is so good, but I keep forgetting it.
yeah,
Like you said it not even 3 minutes ago.
the metaphor is perfect for hard situations in life, especially when we're talking about long term goals. If you're really thinking like long term, let's talk in like the size of dicks, because that's the easiest way to relate to everything for me. You know, if you're taking a
Yeah,
monster cock, you gotta work your way up to that shit. You gotta really practice. You gotta persevere through every fucking thing. You really gotta go and really work on the hardest possible things that you can. And you're gonna
yeah,
struggle and you're gonna slip up and it's not gonna be easy, but eventually you get towards that end goal and it starts happening and you can feel it happening and then you're gonna get some more struggle and then eventually everything loops itself up and you're good to go.
damn. I hope I can hold on and remember this metaphor because you're right. It's like a slow dance. The shit's gonna be awful and kind of messy at first, but the more you do it back and forth, the cleaner and nicer and more enjoyable it gets.
Exactly.
And then like the whole subspace shit you said too. Like, damn, it's just romantic as fuck. I love it.
Yeah. All right, D, I see you got your hand up again.
No, I just want to say what's up to the homie Josh. Just fucking drop in the chat. Congrats on your 10 months, bro. And see you in about 30 days, bro. Come kick it. Come spin a wheel. You know, come pick up a chip. You know, come meet all the sober ninjas and have fun.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. Whoop.
Fuck, man, I only got like $400 saved, and I'm gonna have another 400 next month. It's gonna cost 800 is the bare minimum I have to make to get there. I'm stressing on money a little bit. I just had a birthday. I'm hoping my family will send me a little bit of money. I'll throw all that at the gathering.
Yeah, man. We were just talking.
Hey man, I'm probably gonna have less than that going up to the gathering, bro. But as long as I got the gas to get there and the gas to get back, you know, the car will provide.
Well,
I'll
that's
be all
the
right.
issue. It's 506 or something like that for a ride there and back. So I got my ride set up for about $500, and then it's like 240 to get in. So it's like 800, just bare minimum is what I need to make it there.
Yeah. My biggest tip there is hustle in the parking lot. Show up a little bit early. My best hustles for the parking lot, selling goddamn popsicles.
Anal.
No. Anal is free at the gathering. Everybody knows it.
It was a joke because of the meeting topic.
Wait, like Fagosicles, like freeze Fago, just stick a stick in it and sell them shits.
Nah, dude, go to Walmart, get the little shitty freezer popsicles that are like $3 for
Yeah.
50 of them. Sell them $1 a piece. If you can find them still frozen, people will pay $1 a piece in the parking lot all day.
Yeah, man. If I wasn't too focused on trying to enjoy the experience like of the whole gathering, I would totally start hustling like popsicles, like those t-shirt hustlers you see outside concerts who always like reprint, scrap all the t-shirts they didn't sell, then reprint like a new tour graphic on them.
Yep, you know, we've all had to do our own form of hustling one way or the other. I've had $1,000 gatherings, I've had $0 gatherings, and they're still just as fun either way. You just have to do what you
Yeah.
got to do to get it through.
I feel that, man. I'm in the same boat as Anthony, and I've just been like slicing corners and whatnot. Like, all right, I can tighten this up a bit. I can tighten that up a bit on the old budget to try and get more funds for gathering. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to admit I straight up dream of the day that'll come. Well, I'll have like $1,000 gatherings where I can be like, hey, there's a seat on the bus. All you have to do is show up. Come enjoy the shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, maybe one day we'll all get there. But for now, we got to do the hard route for the moment. Josie, you had your hand up earlier. Did you have something to say about hard things in life? Josie, you're on mute.
I couldn't unmute myself, and I was gonna say, talking about hard stuff. Yeah, my daughter made me do something hard tonight. That's what I was trying to show. Freaking hopscotch.
Dude, hopscotch is the devil, and I'm terrible at it.
Oh
Me
shit.
too.
Bring your
And
daughter to the
mazes.
gathering. I'll face her off. I hopscotch like
Yeah.
a motherfucker. Doing 180s, 360s, both Dance Dance Revolution, this bitch.
Jesus.
Yeah. You
I
two would
never
be
thought of
going
it.
at
That's
it for
pretty much
hours.
hopscotch.
Yeah.
DDR is just electric hopscotch.
Dope.
Yeah, right. Dude, you gotta bring your daughter sometime so we can all hopscotch off against her for like a Horton's Quest or some junk.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Don't
She
bring
was
kids
making
to the
mazes and
gathering.
everything else. No, I would not, because she would get lost and get herself in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't bring kids to the gathering. It is not a place
Yeah,
for
not the
kids.
gathering.
I see some kids there, but it's not a place for kids.
No.
Nah,
Day
fuck
one,
no.
I had a mortar blow up in my face and got shrapnel in my fucking eyeball and got a hole in my foot, and that was just on the first day.
Yeah, I say a minimum age for the gathering should be 14.
No pets either. I
Yeah.
think I saw someone bring a dog last year and like right up into the front of the stage. It was like, I don't think you know what you're getting into, man.
Yeah.
That's got to be really overwhelming for the dog.
Yeah, no, I agree. So
Yeah, I gotta find someone to watch my pet.
Before we want it done, I got one last one to share. I guess like the hardest part for me, like probably the last month or since like summer started, is like learning how to heal, like digging up baggage and learning how to really come to terms with it and process it. Like shit, man, just thinking today, like abandonment issues, loneliness, shame and guilt, feeling like you're not enough. Some of those memories, like to really like understand and acknowledge like what happened. I mean, shit, it's been like really hard. It's been like a lot of emotional moments where it'll be like, damn, I had a flashback I completely forgot about. It's tough having to like break down and cry like that because it's like I don't know, never really cried like that.
You have
It
to
was always instead of get sad, get angry, and start throwing fists or do something about it. Don't be a punk. But to really open up like that and learn how to like actually heal has been kind of hard. But I know it's like for the best. And even my therapist was telling me that too. Like, don't be ashamed to cry or feel bad. That's just you kind of coming to terms with it, learning how to heal, and that's when like the real healing takes place.
that is the reality of dealing with mental or emotional trauma is you have to come to terms with you having the right to have emotions because for so long most of us that have had those types of traumas tend to hide our emotions or force our emotions out of the situation. So you have to come to terms with having the right to have your own feelings about certain situations.
And this might be too dark even for like the meeting, but I was telling Josie yesterday, like, damn, like last week, I was like thinking about like just I failed high school and shit, and everyone told me like you'd be lucky if you even get a job at McDonald's. I remember like feeling so hopeless, down and out. It was like, oh, I guess the only meaning or purpose my life could ever have was to join the army and shoot at or be shot at by other people. And it was kind of really hard to admit that I really felt that low at that time. That shit, like, you really felt that lonely, that isolated, and that like hopeless in life in general. That's pretty dark. Like
That's
they talk
about where
about
I'm
hell.
at.
That's like, yeah, right. It's hard to talk about, man.
Death
There's
is
like hell, and then that's
death
like the
is all
fourth,
that's left.
yeah, the seventh layer sub basement of hell kind of shit, where it's like that's really dark even for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to admit that I actually felt like that.
Yeah, but you can also use me as a prime example of pulling yourself up and doing better than what anybody ever expected of you. I graduated with a point 0.2 GPA and was able to retire by the age of 25. I've got enough brain damage and enough surgeries at this point that I have more replacement parts than most cars. But I'm still up
Yeah,
and doing things better than people that are half my age and are doing more than what I was doing at their age. So you can't
yeah,
always compare yourself to others, and you can't hold yourself by what you failed at. You can only
yeah.
look forward to what your goals are and work towards them. Because even the biggest
Yeah,
slacker has potential to achieve things. But D, I
a
see you
hundred
got your
percent.
hand up.
Yeah, yeah, because of what Monster shared, bro. That's like I think that's a common thing with life, bro. And like it's kind of why I like the 12-step program to be able to like share my story, right? Like, bro, I'm a seventh grade dropout. You want to know how I got to college? In juvie, I spent like 10 years of my life locked up between the ages of 12 and 24. And in juvie, I took um, an IQ test. All my shit was college levels except for math. I got skipped up in 10th grade. I get out of juvie, I go back to jail. In jail, I start doing schooling. I go get out, I go to prison. In prison, I take a 10th grade FCAT and a GED test known as county jail. I get a high school diploma. In prison, I start college by going to culinary arts vocational trade. Okay. My first year home from prison, nobody would give me a fucking job because of the felonies on my record, bro. Nobody would fucking hire me. I'm stuck working in a labor hall pushing a broom, bro. Even restaurants wouldn't hire me, and I have a fucking culinary arts trade. And then now, like, all the stuff I've accomplished since I got sober, like you kind of know the rundown of it. I've talked about it
Yeah,
plenty, and we've talked enough, you know. And
yeah,
then like I'm going back to college in the fall because we're trying to do social work and human services. Like really,
yeah,
like Chris said, it's like picking yourself up by the bootstraps. Like if you have that defeatist mindset, yeah, you're in a dark place. It is a dark place, but like once you can like clear yourself from that dark place and realize that you're worth more and you can do no more, or sometimes it's just that bitter stubbornness, I'll show you fucking attitude. When everybody in the world is doubting you, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna prove everybody in the world wrong and myself wrong about all these
yeah,
things I was feeling, and the hardest part is to keep pushing through all the bullshit, to reach those
yeah,
goals like Chris was saying that you set for yourself. Because trust me,
yeah,
my biggest ambitions in life are to be in prison, homeless, or dead. So like anything above that is great. Like I'm not even supposed to be free till 2025. So like everything's a blessing.
yeah. Nah, man,
Even
I
when I hate it.
appreciate it. Yeah, that's why I try and use you and Chris and like other members of the JIR as role models because I guess that's one of the reasons I bring up education so much is because I know like I have to push myself to focus on that because if I don't, it's downhill. The temptation to go downhill is so much. Like it's almost like the call of the wild in a sense. Like, oh man, it would
You,
be so
you,
awesome to do this or this, even though I know it's
Because
illegal or not good.
you
it's
should be
it's
able to
it's so
get your
easy to get.
GED. I got my GED when I was
It's
in the group homes. They moved me around so much I couldn't get past 10th grade. Because every time you move, you lose some of your credits, and it's all fucked up. So they ended
Yeah,
up, as soon as I got out of the group homes, I went and took a test and got my GED. It actually wasn't that complicated. I think it cost me $100 to take the test, and if you fail, you get one more retry. I think was what it was. But I passed, and I got my GED pretty much for my
yeah,
18th birthday. Go, guys!
yeah.
Fucking dogs.
Hell yeah, man!
I mean, I
Congrats.
get I get what you're saying though, Monster, because it's so easy. I have my days where it's so easy where I know I could pick up the phone, make a couple of phone calls, make some fast, easy money, but it's not gonna end well. Or it's so easy to
Right,
just say fuck it and live off the land, couch surf, roam around, and destroy my life.
right.
But then I have to think 15, 20, 30 years from now, is that what I'm still gonna want to be fucking doing? Or do I want, like what we were talking about earlier, some sense of financial freedom, some sense of my own stuff, some sense of my own life, my own
Yeah,
world? And I'm not gonna get that
yeah.
by being a street dude.
No, that's where it gets darker though, because I never expected half this shit to happen. I expected my life to basically have no meaning or purpose. So it's like, I don't know. You have to sort of push yourself into it because, yeah, you're right. The street stuff only ends one of two ways: jail or death. There is no in between. People who are successful, you never see them in their 40s. Those are the ones who were brave enough to get out. But like, I don't know, man. Some days are easier than others. And then even now with like the moderate success I have, it's hard to acknowledge it and take pride in it because it just feels too good to be true. But like Chris was saying, defeatist mindset, you got to break out of it. You got to know that you can be better tomorrow than your past was. Your past is not the peak. I don't know.
I've
It
been
goes back
stuck
and
in that
forth.
defeated mindset for months.
Dude, it's fucking
Something
hard.
I
It's
haven't
hard to
seen to
break
be
out.
able to pull myself
I've been
out
stuck in
of.
it for years, man. I still look at my
Yeah,
success and feel like they're just fucking with me. This is all a cool prank that's gonna get taken away one day. It's not real.
I love
Like
going to a
straight up
meeting and
denial.
hearing what I need to hear, like right off the bat. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
Oh no, you're good, man. Like, yeah, dude, I was cleaning out my wallet today. I found some card about someone who wanted to like interview me because I thought it was a success story. And I remember when they told me that, I laughed at them and I was like, "You're nuts! Be a success story? Fuck out of here!" But I completely forgot to follow up on it, and it was like, damn, I wonder if that was legit or my defeatist mindset sabotaged it. I don't know. It's hard to learn to wear the crown of success after you've been stuck in the defeatist mindset so damn long. It's become like a way of life at that point, ingrained.
No, I get it, man. But Nate's had his hand up for
Yeah.
a minute. Let's give him a chance to talk on it, and then we'll go over to D.
Yeah, I have a couple thoughts. So the first one is the last 2 years getting ready for the gathering, like when you guys are talking about it, just hustling. So like we picked up a lawnmower and a weed whacker and we got on the local Facebook group and just started mowing motherfuckers' lawns for money. And then this year we did like more lawn cleanups and like roof cleanings and stuff like that. Just like labor jobs, man. People are paying for it, and I don't know, man. We've made like a grip of money. Like we paid for our hotel, because I have to stay in a hotel because of my kid and all sorts of shit. So if there's a will, there's a way, man. You can hustle your way to the gathering. But the second thought is that defeatist attitude, man. Like I always try to like share in meetings, but I always feel like my story isn't like kind of like the last person was saying, man. Like I just like it's gonna get ripped away from me, and like I'm not really that successful in what I'm doing, and this and that. And I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "That's a bunch of bullshit. Look at where you're at, and like where you came from, And so everybody's like success is big, and it does help other people when you tell your story. And having that mindset sucks because I have it all the time. Like I'm not good enough to like share my story because who the fuck am I? You know what I mean? And all that. So yeah, definitely. The third thought that I had is some shit that happened to me recently. So my kid was really sick. Took him to the hospital. He's like throwing up, like he's stomach pains. He can't keep water, food down. Lost like 30 pounds. It's fucking scary. Turns out, like, I knew he was smoking weed and whatnot, and like, as a recovering addict, you hope that shit isn't gonna like carry over and that he learned something, but he clearly didn't. So anyway, it turned out that he had like what they call CHS. I've never heard of it before, which is wild. Like you get it from smoking this super powered, like high concentrated weed nowadays, and you get really fucking sick, and it's awful. And that's what he ended up having, this fucking CHS, because he quit smoking weed, and what do you know? He got better. Like he smoked it in again, and he got sick, and it's like he's 15, and like he's like my road dog, like he's my best friend, and I knew what was going on, but I didn't know the extent of it, right? And like as a recovering addict, man, that's hard. Like that shit is hard for me because like you think he would have learned from like all the shit he saw me go through, and he always told me he wasn't gonna smoke and this and that. And I don't know, man. Out of all the things that made him sick, it was fucking weed. You know what I mean? Like weed made him sick. What the fuck? So anyway, that was some difficult shit recently that we had to go through and that I'm still kind of struggling with. But yeah, I think that's it for me, man. I think you got your hand up. I'll let it go.
I mean, so you kind of touched on what I was popping in my head, anyways. But first, I'll talk about hypercannabinoid syndrome. Yes, it is a thing because the THC levels are so fucking high that you literally smoke. And when you smoke, you throw up and you get sick. And you can't eat and you have withdrawals from it. I've seen plenty of people have it. The drug game done changed. It's not the same. When we were growing up, you didn't have to worry about that kind of shit. You could smoke fucking ounces and ounces all fucking day long and not get sick. Anyways,
I did not know that.
So there's something, we say in prison and all the time we tell people there's always somebody out there that got it worse than you, right? And in recovery, we say our experience is our best asset. It's our best asset to help another person, right? So your perception is your perception on yourself, and that comes from years of addiction or low self-esteem or low worth or whatever it is going on with yourself. But your story can touch so many people, whether you think it or not, because there's somebody who has it worse than you or similar than you, that to see you succeeding in life, whether how small it is. There's people homeless. There's people in prison the rest of their life. There's people that lost every family member they can think of. There's always somebody that's in a way worse situation, and your little bit of a story could be an inspiration for them to get up and do something with themselves, So never doubt, like, your story and your experience of being able to help another person. You should never shy away from being happy of what successes you do have, because there's lots of people that don't have anything.
I popped a link in the chat about that CHS shit. Like, I had no fucking idea. Not at all. Like, we went to the emergency room and shit, man. Like, my insurance sucks ass. I'm out like $5,000 because of that shit. Yeah, look at that. It's wild.
Yeah, I've had a handful of people that have had that in the past. It's an issue that I never knew we were gonna have to deal with modern weed, but it's apparently a thing. Does anybody else have anything to speak on for the hard things that they have to do in life because they feel they need to or they actually really want to
I
before
do.
we end the recording? Let's go ahead and concrete.
It's good. I'm not quite so confident about my story because Brian already told it. I actually forgot about that part of my story.
Yeah, we got a lot in common. That's why I fucked with you.
I got my first felony at 20 years old. Not too young, but pretty young. And I remember the first thing I was thinking is, well, I'll never have a government job. And here I am with a government job. But it's like, I remember how hard it was. I mean, that's a lot of years, like, I mean, there are things that I thought my record was affecting. Like, I thought it was why I couldn't get an apartment. And a lot of times it was actually mainly just because I didn't have any credit. But I went ahead and blamed the world on that anyways. And used that as an excuse to keep dragging myself in the darkness for many, many years. And now I'm at that point where, I mean, both felonies are over 15 years old. Like, my second felony was me threatening to kill a cop when I was drunk because I was mad, and I was mad at them. Yeah, I blame them for me having a record. Like, it was basically, yeah, I was drunk, but it was like, it was all the stress of trying to survive as a felon building up. I even had a job at the time. I wasn't grateful. Like, sure didn't have a job after that. Like, my boss saw me on the news and shit in court and shit. Like, I remember it's just, I took GED classes. I didn't finish high school, and I took GED classes in jail. And then when I got out, shortly after I got out, I went and took the test. I was in county, so they let you take GED classes, but they wouldn't let you take the test. So I had to actually go forth and, it was easy to take the classes when I had nothing to do. But then I found more free classes and took them, and eventually got what I was looking for. And here we go. Fast forward almost 22 years since I got that first felony, and I work for the Postal Service. But I have a 15-year-old kid too. And I didn't. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but that's crazy. That now you got to worry about weed making you sick. That's other shit I got to worry about now. Trying to figure out if I can actually afford to go to the gathering or not this year, and which is pretty stupid because I make plenty of money, but I've been spending it, like traveling, doing shows. I just went on tour and doing a bunch of cool shit in a way that, like, I wouldn't be able to do it before. Like, when I was using, in order to go on tour, I usually had to take advantage of other people. It's like now I can chip in and make shit happen, and it's a beautiful thing. I don't want to overshare, but that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for so much for sharing, Concrete. I really appreciate your share. D, you got your hand up?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
hope,
I'm gonna,
people.
I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna do one last thing. You know, and then I'm gonna shut up till the after party and the dick jokes. So all this to say, because it kind of goes in hand with the meeting topic is and what Monster was going on and what we've been sharing on is you can never let your past define your future. If you want to stay in your mindset and have your past define your future, that's choice. But if you want to do something different about it, you forget about your past and you keep pushing forward and make your future what you want it to be.
Oh, one more thing. There, one time I was delivering to the CPU box outside, and this young guy was walking by, hella pissed off. He had a big bag and shit, and he was yelling and cursing at himself, and I thought it was a bunch of tweaker gibberish. And then I started listening to him, and as he walked by, he was complaining about his family members kicking him out of the house and how he couldn't find a place or get a job because of his record. And then he turned around, like I could feel him, he turned around and started talking towards me, because I look like I'm a government guy, and he's just talking to me like, yeah, he's just like ranting basically in my direction, and my back's turned, but like a tear came down my eye while he was doing it, because he didn't realize he was like talking to a mirror. Like I was just like him. He saw the uniform and shit and thought I was some normie or something, but I wasn't. And I kind of regret not turning around and telling him that. I also have a let that I used to date that just recently OD'd too, and I kind of wish I reached out to her more. That recently happened. I found out while I was on the road that she passed away, like overdosed on her 24th birthday. So that's kind of hard. I drove by her in my mail truck, and she was in an alleyway talking to herself. And I wanted to reach out and say something, but I had to get to my next part of my route, and just fear that she might drag me back into that hole or something. So, yeah, so that's been bugging me too. But that's all I have right now. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to go on that long.
No, it was awesome, man.
Concrete. That's really good.
That part you said about the young man was pretty beautiful. Like that's why I've been showing up more here. I'm 26, and I know most of you guys are older, but that doesn't mean you can't teach me how to live better and live healthier before it's too late. Because man, the defeatist mindset, you think of it a lot. Yeah, learning to break out of it. It takes piece by piece, and you guys with your stories and motivation and encouragement and really helped me make slow steps towards that. And I can't wait till the walk becomes running to break out.
Well, you're helping me out. You're helping us out too, man. And I'll have 5 years in July, and I didn't see my son until I had 2 years. It just takes a lot of patience. It'll come together. You just got to work for it and just have faith, basically.
And I really related to what you said too about being a normie, but then you look at someone and they're ranting, and it's like, damn dog. I wish I could tell you that I know how you feel and that you may look at me now, but I know you and I know your energy, and we're on the same wavelength more than you could ever know.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to burn the world down just like you. I still kind of do.
Oh, dude, it's fucking tough. It's tough. Some days are easier than others. And I think I was telling Josie last night, Juggalos are recovery, really thankful and really grateful for it. Because, yeah, man, it's you can't, it's hard to make changes like that are that big without a good support system. And I don't really have it. I'm sort of on my own and don't really have anyone involved. I don't really have good influences that are friends that are really doing anything positive like I am. And it gets hard because you start to resent success because it makes you lonely if you don't have good influences or a good support system.
No, I feel that.
Yo, Dave, spit that raw shit. I saw that hand raised. Spit that raw shit, Dave. I saw that hand raised. Don't be shy.
Be
Unmute
patient.
that mic and talk that
Yeah,
shit.
motherfucker,
Talk that
talk.
shit.
What you talking? My mic ain't muted. Like, I'm being patient, letting people talk, you know. But as a person, that I know concrete. I know what you're saying so much. I've been a person with mental illness. I couldn't hold a regular fucking job. It's just not a real thing. So I've always done a little bullshit work and done a little, you know, self-employment type stuff, but never hit the goals and the aspirations I've always strived for. So I got in the game. You know, I got in the game because I was good at what I did. I was good at growing weed. I was good at selling weed. I was good at smoking weed. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
But up with me, and I got charged with 27 felonies and 15 misdemeanors. First time ever. Like one fell swoop. Bah, got your ass.
I had 9 at 6. I was charged with 9. Carry on.
The crazy shit is we went through all the bullshit with all the trial and everything else. And right before they were getting ready to actually serve my time, and I was looking at 10 years, hard felon, like straight up, and never even been to jail at this point. It was going straight to felony. Like, no have to go, no nothing. Well, 10 years prior, I got approved for my disability. In my disability paperwork from the federal government has a line that if I could figure out where I put it in the house, I would show it to you. That is actually highlighted that says supposed to have daily use for marijuana. That one statement saved my ass from 10 years of federal prison. Now, it gave me a year of federal probation. And I've still got the charges but not convictions on my record. I was so mad that they stuck me, even though I was supposed to have this. I was bitter, dude. I was bitter. I was the guy walking around cussing people out. I was the guy that couldn't be appreciative to realize what I didn't lose, but what I gained. And you know, it's very easy to forget and to be humble. And it's on the front of my truck. It's be humble or be humbled, because your ass can be in the blink of an eye. And when you're not appreciative for what the fuck you are blessed with, and that's a blessing. I don't give a fuck where it comes from. That's just a real life fucking blessing, not to give up 10 fucking years of your life. But I carried it. I carried that fucking anger and that scorn, and I couldn't do this because I didn't even know the way they fucking did it, as I thought they had charged and convicted me. I thought that's how it was showing up on my record, because everybody was like, you can't do this because you're a felon. You can't vote because you're a felon. You can't do it. Like, for almost 10 years of my life, I lived just like I went to prison. Real shit.
Yeah.
And didn't know any better. You know, and I actually, when my dad passed away, it was terrible, but I got to talk to a lawyer, and that lawyer allowed me to know that it was charged and not convicted, which allowed me to be over my estate, because otherwise I wouldn't even been able to be over the estate. Somebody else would have made all the decision with my dad's stuff, with his money, and because I wasn't, and because I literally done everything I was supposed to do, that was another blessing that come from that fucked up situation. Me and my girl has come to where we're doing like cups and stickers and keychains and shit. You'll actually see some of the stuff at Got J if you show up. I'm doing stuff for JIR. I'm doing stuff for our own personal, but it's built me being able to start a brand. It's built me being able to take a negative and turn it into a positive, and being able to show other people, because you best believe there's not a drug on this fucking world that has not been ingested by this crazy fuck here. And I don't promote drug use, but I'm very open and I'm very honest about, I've had some serious fucking problems. I'm very lucky to be even alive and sitting here. And when I hear young people spout, or even older people that's going through some shit, I try to take the time to shut the fuck up and listen, because they deserve that respect. Because you never know what another motherfucker's going through that could be the difference in 15 to 20 seconds of them putting a barrel on the side of their head and be like, nobody hears me, nobody cares, and nobody ever will. And that's just real shit. You know, you don't realize how important it can be to the man in the fucking little picture frame right beside you to hear what you got to say. And a lot of times I don't come in and I don't talk because I worry I'm going to say things in an inappropriate way or in the wrong way. But sometimes I'm just real about shit too, because shit just, it hits me the right way when I hear somebody else. So I feel for everybody that's going through the recovery struggle, because it's not a joke. It's not a game. And mostly when you mix mental health involved, it can be so fucking dangerous. And I applaud everybody that takes the effort to try. Even if you fucking fall off the wagon tonight, I appreciate that you gave it the fucking effort and at least get the fuck back up and get back on. Don't let that be your stopping block. Don't let it be the spot where you decide I can't do this because I made a fucking mistake, because we make mistakes every day. But that ain't a reason to give up, because there's always something better for us. But I'll shut the hell up now.
And amen. Love you, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Amen.
All right, Mr. Scarecrow.
Yeah, on that note, I was in town. I was going through some shit. I'd go similar shit that I'm going through right now. I was helping butane. I wanted to quit, and I went to this meeting, and it was, you know, only old timers were allowed to share in this meeting. And I knew that it was just the only one around, and the nearest one was Narcotics Anonymous. And I really needed to share, and they wouldn't let me share. So I ended up walking outside, took one hit off that can of butane, and fucking dropped dead right in front of the NA meeting. Pretty much famous across the country because they all talk about the kids that killed themselves at an NA meeting. Died for almost 7 minutes and was brain dead and in a coma for a couple weeks. That needing to share, though, like, yeah, that was a big deal. I was sitting in that meeting trying to share. No, only old timers, you know, got no days or whatever, and fucking I couldn't share. I just went outside, took one hit, and fucking dead on the spot, cardiac arrest. So sometimes, you know, you need to get that shit off your chest, and it's good to sit back and listen to all the old timers and all the wisdom throughout the meetings, but sometimes, you know, somebody's really going through some shit and just has to talk about it. I'm going through pretty much similar shit right now, only I'm not huffing butane. I'm still staying clean, well, relatively clean. I smoke weed still. But, fuck, man, I don't know what to do. These voices are getting out of hand, and my psychiatrist can't seem to get the meds figured out. I'm been pretty fucking... And a long life of being suicidal and having succeeded in killing myself at least twice. And look at all of that shit. I'm probably more suicidal now than I've ever been in my life. And it's just the way I have it so good. That's the weird thing. I could sit here and write a gratitude list, and I have so much shit. And where I live is such an awesome place, but I can't enjoy any of it because it's all tainted by these voices. I have family around, but I can't really spend time with them because most of the time I'm getting natted at about some bullshit or another buddy's fucking voices. I got back into playing video games. It's been kind of helping because it gives me some kind of life outside of this. But it's been, I don't know, man. It's been really intense. I don't mean to be a downer on the meeting, but I've just been in a horrible fucking place for a while, and it's not getting any better. I'm getting a little better with these meetings. And playing Morton's List, like that gave me some kind of purpose and a group of friends and a support group. But everything's just getting worse. Hopefully the gathering will work some miracles. It worked miracles in my life before, so I'm kind of hoping for a little of that carnival magic to revive me a bit. Because all I see is fucking death is all that's left, man. I can't deal with this shit.
30 days, motherfucker. 30 days. All I'm saying, we will all start piling in 30 days.
Yeah.
I got 5 months or something. Oh, yeah, it's only 30 days until the gathering.
30 days. And you get your...
My plane ticket's booked, so I'm most likely going.
Yo, Dave, before I forget,
on a lighter note, I can't wait to play some more List in person.
Oh, just wait. I've still got the
to actually roll some dice.
Yeah. No, you're right, Dave. I really appreciate what you said about trying to focus on the miracles right in front of you, not get stuck on the negative. I've been trying to do that, and it's really slow. Like I went from 0 days out of 7 to like maybe 1 or 2 out of 7, but even then, man, it's the feeling you wish you could hold on to and have more. That sense of peace and serenity you get when you can focus on like the beautiful things in your life, like you said. Dude, avoiding 10 years in prison, that's a fucking miracle, like skin of your teeth shit. Like you should be able to focus on that, but it's hard. I feel the same way, man. You're always stuck on like what you don't have, not what you do have, how far you haven't gone yet instead of how far you have came. It's a battle. Just time and patience, like you were saying, though. Just all that matters is that you keep trying and get back up. I appreciate it, man. Your story was really good. This meeting has been a good one, a killer one tonight.
What up, D? D.
And to imagine, it all started from a whole topic about anal.
Yeah, because anal's awesome.
Chris.
A topic I got free
anyways.
reading. What do y'all do about it?
I appreciate y'all. They kind of killed the topic, and all the shares have been fire and super heartfelt and super dope. But have y'all seen? Not only is this three-headed monster tour becoming a super group with an album, and are you fucking stoked for it or not?
I didn't even know it was going to become a super group, but I'm down.
Yes, they're releasing a full-length album with Isham, Ouija, and Jay. Who the fuck's amped? I'm fucking amped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy.
Fuck, I haven't heard about that. Yeah, that's pretty fucking stoked.
The three-headed monster.
I'm pissed they're not coming to Seattle, but I mean, I'm not really pissed, but like disappointed.
I'll ignore you, Stacy. All right. Does anybody else have anything to share about anal or enjoying the hard things in life?
No, we're gonna do the anal and dick jokes.
I enjoy hard anal.
Jesus. Yes. All right, Josh, you got your hand up.
Like anal for 500, please.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Always got to be with the dick jokes.
All right. Well, with
listen to MC Bush thing and fucking parents. They say anal a lot.
Yes.
All their songs.
So we're gonna go ahead and end the meeting unless anybody wants to share something.
No, I was just kidding. But
no,
my name's.
What up, Monster?
Oh no, go man, go Josh. I was gonna ask meeting. Is that you, Ninja Nate, the guy who does like sobriety meetings on Sunday? I've been meaning to come visit you for a minute, but I always like end up getting distracted by some other junk.
Yeah, man. Sundays are a tough time for people because it's usually people's day off to like not do anything. So, come join me, man. I'm there every Sunday, just chilling. So,
yeah, I'm sorry about your kid too, man. I know that shit. My dad, whenever he's like really wasted, will tell me like, "Damn, I wish I would have done better so you don't repeat the same mistakes I did." But it's kind of weird now because I'm 26 and he's like 70 something or whatever, and we're not close. So it's like, all right, thanks for that weird bit of info. It doesn't hit as hard because we don't have that foundation.
Yeah, it's tough, but the important thing is he's getting better. Hopefully, he learned from his mistakes. We'll see what happens. But
all right,
yeah.
Well, with that, I'm gonna end the recording and get us off lives, and we can get back to dick jokes.
I heard it's not gay if it's rubber dick.
Concrete.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Concrete is right, man. Seattle.